Hey there guys, Bart coming at you today in MTG Arena, and we're here for the final episode of this Bolas mashup, this first series of Grixis that we did, and I'm really enjoying playing this deck. There are some changes that I'm already with them in mind, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit more in the end of the video. But if you haven't seen the first two videos, I'm going to link them in the description. So if you want a better deck tech about what this deck wants to do and what we have in here, then go for the first episode because I crack this much better in there. And let's go for the games of today. I hope you enjoy. Okay, here we go against Adam Bravo. Arena taking its time. Okay, we play first. Yorion. Probably a control deck. This is a keepable hand because of Thoughtseize against Yorion. We have a lot of tapped lands, but one Thoughtseize and one Jory Disruption might be an okay start. These probably might not see play, so because the check lands can enter untapped, I'm going to start with this. Okay, so tie again. Let's see what's in their hand. There are creatures I might go for. Okay, no creatures. Well, there's a Hydroid Grixis, but this is kind of a plain white celebration. I think a lot of Explorer and Growth Spiral might get into nothing for a while. We have Witches. I think I'm gonna get the Crazes. Your go, opponent. I can silence this thing. Explorer. Yeah, he has a lot of card draw. Between countering something, I think I'm just gonna search for a Scantain here. I could have dropped Jory Disruption because paying one is going to be hard. Him not having one mana to pay one is going to be a hard thing. Probably he will have from now on. Yeah. So this is actually a bit of a better spot to go for Thoughtseize. If he has... I can... Oh, okay. I got it. It's an Emergent Ultimatum combo deck. I'm gonna take it because I don't have a way to stop the combo if he goes for it, because he's going to go for, I think it's Anticipation. It's an enchantment. Okay, I think I'm going to counter this. He doesn't get so fast to the mana for the ultimatum. So the enchantment lets him cast things without paying their mana costs. We can take this and start with Ashok. And the other part, because the ultimatum lets him have 3 cards, I choose one, he can't cast that card. And I'm just going to plus. And if I let him have Liliana or Plain White Celebration, like if I let him have both, he can combo and ultimate Liliana. But if I let him have Anticipation, then he can draw a lot, he can go for Fate of Wishes and get something really big in his sideboard. He's going for Granted right now, maybe getting some kind of... He could have... What's the name of the 6 mana sorcery? Casualties of War? Mastermind's Acquisition. I don't want another search right now. Okay, that's a land. So opponent's not doing a lot. I don't know why he goes for Mastermind's Acquisition. I mean, you use a fetch card to fetch a fetch card. He has Ritual of Suit. Ritual of Suit is decent. Should I use it? Is this better in Historic? Say of Wishes. Cultivate. We could destroy Fae of Wishes, but I don't know if I want that. Ooh, I want this. Okay. So now, if we let him have the Liliana combo, we can just exile her before Plain White Celebration can proliferate. So I think I'm just going to destroy this and try to be a little aggressive just so that he has to answer the board. We're in a position that we can ultimate Ashok though, so that's why you go for the attacks with the nightmares first. Let's see what we could have in here. Plain White Celebration and Ritual of Suit. So I'm just going to do another nightmare and pass the turn. 3, 6, 7 mana. Oh, that's fine. I was thinking I need to keep this Contempt maybe. Well, because then if he goes for the combo, that's my only answer. I don't want the second one. I mean, he's not going to do a lot. Team Vents. There is nothing that I can -3, -7, just gets the same cards. So yeah. I think I go for land. I have 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. Okay, he just casts Liliana. Do I exile her already? I think so. Oh no, actually. Okay, so this can be this is going to be cool. I don't need that. I can transform. Doesn't matter a lot. Another Black of Predation. So I'll attack first. Just to see what else we can get. A Grazer. That's fine. He didn't need to champ that, but I want to -7 and get his spells. I will do his combo. So what will happen in here is that I choose 3. So the first one that I select to cast is going to the pile first, and this way will be resolved last. So we choose Plain White Celebration and Proliferate, Liliana. I don't know if opponent can see what's going to the pile, but if he does, he should just concede. Because he can't pilot that deck with no lands, because that's what happens now. Oh, we even put counters on Ashok. So we -9. Opponent has 1 land. And they concede. So we could do his combo. Imagine if we even had anticipation. We don't have a lot of ways to cheat with anticipation, but it would be nice. Okay, against ramp and card draw. Do we need to exile something from the graveyard? Maybe Uro. I'm gonna get Fiddle Swarm because of the enchantment. If he goes for the enchantment, but then he doesn't have a lot of things to do with that. Although I take like 9 damage. Okay, Bloodchief's Thirst. We could bring. It destroys planeswalkers. Waste not. I'll leave waste not. Cry of the Carnarian can go, right? Yeah, I think so. Black Bloom Rogue. I think we can go. Say goodbye for that. Maybe the board wipes. What else? This one. We have to cut another one. I cut Liliana because I never know if I cut Liliana or Ashok. So opponent might. He already did the sidebar thing, right? Yeah, I think he was just choosing. Thoughtseize, waste not. That's the thing, waste not comes after Thoughtseize, but could we wait to Thoughtseize? Maybe we could. That means that we might have card draw, but if they have Thoughtseize, although yeah, if we let them untap and they have Thoughtseize, might be worse. Okay, their hand is not great. They did one mulligan, that's why. I take the root. Although he's going to put all of his lands in the battlefield after going for Azusa, I think that might be better. Now without lands, just because we took I think one land. Azusa. Do you have more lands? Because now he needs card draw to put lands. I can't hit Azusa with this. Why is this open? Can I? Where the mana cost 2 or less. Okay. Just a visual thing. Okay, he goes fetch 2 forests, maybe? I don't remember if it made him. Okay, he fetches a blue and a black. Not a good draw, but better than a Bolas or something else. Explore, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. This Circuitous Road was bad. So Necromantia, he needs to choose the name of the card first and then he exiles. Ashok, I have one of. I didn't cut her, so I think I should have cut her and kept Liliana. He gets to see our deck and be better prepared. That's actually okay, I want this. To have... I think I go Narset while I can. Because he already ramped, but card draw could be good for him. Confounding Conundrum is not great right now, but keeping... Okay, Fable Passage. The thing is that keeping Thought Erasure and then opponent has no hand, not great. He does hit Narset for 1, she's at 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he goes for Yariel. Two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Land can't go Ravager. So I think that I'm not going to do anything with Narset. I exile Yorion and then he attacks me with Yorion because we are at 14 life. Do you have counterspell? Cycle while I have Narset in play. So I'll resolve that. You don't draw, you re-exile. Maybe he forgot he was on his own turn yet. Okay. So a little bit of misplays for opponent. I need a land in here. I think I'm gonna go for Confounding Conundrum. The thing is, if he goes for Emergent Ultimatum, I don't remember if that's 2 or 3 green mana. We can't Vraska's Contempt Liliana, so if he's attacking, I think that he doesn't have it. I don't know why, I think it's 3 green, but part of me says that it's not. Might be 3 black. I played a lot with that, but I don't remember. I'm gonna graveyard these. That is probably a land. Let's do this. He goes for this cry. Okay, he scries. Castle Ventress could just find him. Anticipation. And then we don't find the land, we play these to cast our planeswalkers, although they need all red sources. I don't have much to do because this is like my 5th mana, but the probability of this hitting something is not great, so I am going to do it. There is no land that lets me cast Chandra next turn. Although I don't want her so much in this match. Maybe I shouldn't have kept her. Now we could see what they have in hand. Maybe at this point that's a little bit better. Okay, so probably they had to keep those. I need that land. Oh, and I draw a card. Okay, I draw the land. I can even take that. That's just good against Grixis. And Confounding Conundrum is just good against nothing. And now Waste Not is getting us a lot of card draw. That's great. When it's screaming phase, that's a good sign. 2 to the top, that's a bad sign. I won this, double red. Okay, so what do we start with? I think I'm gonna go Bolas. See if they have a counter spell. Start plussing him. See what we draw. Okay, so I think that yeah, they were probably going to eat a land and then we can go Proxa. Eat the card in their hand. And they concede. Probably they finally drew the payoff, the maybe Emergent Ultimatum. So I think that was the final game against Sultai. Like Necromantia Circuitous wrote this cycle. Opponent played really bad this second match. And Confounding Conundrum is also bad. I think that there were a lot of wrong decisions from opponent. I don't think that we played so well. We searched for Askenta, found us our land, took the things we didn't want. Yeah. We could turn Bolas into the big Bolas later. Maybe that's why he conceded as well. Maybe he had Liliana, Bolas can take her. We have a lot of play. Okay, we're here against Menstruale. One land, just one land really. I was seeing if there were Zendikar things. Now we have 4 lands. This is much more keepable. Like this would be a 2 mana, 2 land hand. If we can take this back, this is never good almost. Giganta, I believe it's probably... I'm gonna go for this because this is the black source. No, we can start with this. Because what I'm thinking is, okay, that's a creature, that's nice against aggro. I think that he could be sacrifice or aggro. But getting 2 life, paying 2 life is not great, so here I can go for Drowned. Catacombs, opponent is at Sultai again. I thought that we ended that okay for colors. We can counter these, probably good. Is this an Omnath historic deck? Now I think that I want the Ravager on turn 4 more than going for this creature. 2 mana, Cobra. We can kill Lotus Cobra or take a card in their hand. I think this is a little bit more mana efficient, so I'm going to start with this. Deafening Clarion. So, Deafening Clarion, red. So this is a 5 color deck. Or maybe 4 color with Triumphs. He generates red. Oh, okay. Opponent's playing Niv Mizzet the Reborn. He's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. He has a lot of double color things, and these lands, yeah, another one, so I'm trying to point to Bloodthirsters to see if he gets it, but nope. This Zugin is dead, right? I mean, we don't ramp. He has 2 cards in hand. Okay, he has 1 card in hand. I'm gonna do this first in case he has Dovin's Veto, which could be 1 card that he plays. Okay, we get Crazy's best turn. He gets Giganta to his hand, goes for Triumph. He has red, black, green, blue, white, okay. Our plan here is just try to get to Bolas, to Ugin, I'm sorry. And he finds it, that's it. So this card is going to generate a lot of value. He's going to find something. Sometimes he doesn't find a lot. And here, yeah, he finds 4 cards. Okay, that's interesting that that deck can have Giganta. I never thought about that. Ooh, and he even have Clothes. I'm debating Vraska in here. This is not going to be a creature, but it's going to take a lot of things. Maybe Vraska can generate more value over time. Body Rager gets Ugin. I think that I want my Ugin more than those things. I don't know if that's the right play. We're at 5 land. And that's 10 life. Yeah, I would go Vraska as well.
Go ahead. As long as we win.
Does he sack land? Nope. He could. Okay, we have... I think we're dead. Like 6 lands. Come on, Ugin. You should be... That's the thing. Sometimes I think that we're just not cheating, you know? Like, I know that's not cheating, but this 5 mana card that is a 6/6 just took him 4 cards to his hand, and That's not even card draw, so Narset couldn't break that. I think that we need to start breaking our opponent's game plan. We're dead whatever we find, aren't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he could go for Giganta, that's a 5-mana creature. We have Extinction Event, Scarab God is another 5-mana creature. But we didn't find it, so let's go. Sideboard. Come on. Okay, here we are. I think I want this. This is an okay card. Narset just finds things for us. I don't think that he's ramping. He's using Cobra, but that's it, right? He just has Fabled Passage and he has Crazy, so Narset's good. This doesn't draw, it just puts cards. I don't think I have a lot of a good sideboard plan against him. This is not good. Okay, not good. Could cut one. I don't think that he has a lot of graveyard recursive things. Angreth. I could cut Angreth and maybe Ugin. Chandra probably. Okay, let's try this. Menstrali. Menstrail. I don't know what that means. Some Shocklands, that's fine. Start with Blood Crypt. Good thing about Grixis is that if they are not drawing some cards at the beginning of the game, then we can start eating a little bit of their hand. So we could try to get the early gain, or maybe something important, because we can't choose what we are discarding with Grixis. What is important in here? Oath of Kaya, I don't care. Thought Erasure gets that. Vraska or Niv Mizzet. Could take Thought Erasure, but I think that I just let him have my Planeswalker. Nah, let's keep it. Because the other things are kind of slow. I could have this creature to aggro. Grixis might get some other things. And if he wants to minus, okay. I think I start getting things out of his hand first. It's probably just saying goodbye to Oath of Kaya right now. But then next turn he might have to say goodbye to something that he wants. And I'm actually casting this as a land. Gonna try to hit Ashiok. We can start doing some creatures. Then he might not have good answers. He's going to keep Fabled Passage. I think I go Grixis or keep Vraska's Contempt up. Like Vraska itself, the Golgari one, it's not going to generate a lot of things. Okay, we get something else. We get Niv Mizzet. Probably means that he has another Niv Mizzet in hand. Not going to crack that. That's smart. So he just knows what he wants to fetch. And now he's going to. White or blue? Blue, yeah. White, there's a Triumph already. And he finds a Thought Erasure right on time, okay. That's okay. Do I keep the mauling? I think so. This way he doesn't... He's unsure of what I have. 5 mana, do you have it? Yes, you have it. We know. Do you want to exile that or destroy? Uro and Tori Rager. Not a great thing. To exile that. I know that I could keep the exile for Uro, but... And now I play the tap land because I have 6 mana and he has Body Rager, so yeah, better to go for that. I'll let Body Rager do nothing now. But he does Surveil, so he keeps it on top. I'm missing a Skanta in here. Like, that's not what you want to see. Like, just a waste not. If we don't have anything to make them discard, okay, roll. Ramp, draw card, we lose. That's mostly what happens. But their hand has a lot of things, some are clunky. So, are you going for Vraska? If we find Dugin, we can't cast him. Looks like he's going for it. Yep. I think I would eat a land in his... if I were in his shoes.
Being ruthless has its rewards.
Nope. We can get that last card and then next turn transform Bolas. Oh, we create a token. He does find Uro. He does attack. He destroys this. You've got it, opponent. You've got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. What they're going to do right now? Is this game? This might just draw us a card. And we do Surveil first if we... Let's see what he has. Oh no, if he has nothing in hand, that's in a row. But this is an extinction event coming in next turn. I think I can keep this. Both are 5 mana. Both I want to... discard draw. That can't be exiled with extinction event, so that's it. Nothing I could do in this one. Maybe there was, I just don't know. Bitter. Okay, so let's go for this game against Ambition, 9-9-29. We have lands because of mauling. We could mauling once. Seems fine. We want to shock this Croxa? Maybe not. Ornithopter. What is that? Jeskai artifacts? Okay, so let's run Croxa. Start making them discard. They had that. They just decided to go for only one of, because maybe he thought I could be aggro. And now we have another artifact. Kind of not so used with these crazy historic decks, but that might be some kind of self-mill. Although some cards are not in historic. Do I go for Bolas? Let's see. So that's a good thing. We're an active deck. Mox Ember. Song of Creation. Ornithopter. Draws a lot. So kind of a combo-y deck. Yeah, that can get Grixis. Stone Coil Serpent for 0, okay. Okay, this is the part where we watch only. Then he finds Mox Ember. The thing is, I think that this deck used to run Emery. And I think Emery is available. But it also had the red mana enchantment that gave all of the cards. Okay. There it is. Idyllic Tutor, okay, to find Song of Creation. I'm going to attack, see how they block. They probably just jump blocked or just take 4 damage, yeah. Now we go Fabled Passage. Get a red source, probably, because of Grixis. Ah, but they are going to exile Grixis. Anyways, in case we find another, we might have to have 3 red at a time if we gather, because he has 2 card draw in his artifacts. I think that Narset is really good against this deck.
No weakness I cannot exploit.
But right now, if they just find what they need, they add black Ornithopter. That's the thing, when you go for one of those, then probably you're finding what you need. Goes for Emery now. They're at 22 already. Another Crypt, so he can just say goodbye to one of those to exile Croaks, which is kind of far also, but Mox Ember. Keep the one that is untapped. Thassa's Oracle. He probably has 2 Thassa's Oracle. Maybe kind of also being sure that the second Oracle is not in the bottom of their deck. Although that wouldn't mind much. Maybe he didn't have a play. Probably he did. Okay, we're just in here to make sure that he's not killing himself. Mox Ember is pretty good in here. Four cards. Goes for that. Draw 2. Thassa's Oracle in here is little. Yep. He would draw 2, but then he would have 0. He just drew exactly his deck. If he had gone for another 0 thing and then Thassa's Oracle, it would have... He has... okay. Narset. I think this is it. Another discard spell from me. Ugin is kind of slow, Chandra is slow, Ingress. I don't know. What don't we want on the cheaper things? We want this could be a land. I want hand disruption. I want lands. Yeah, confounding conundrum. I don't know. It's just card draw. Don't know if I need all the bolas. Could be slow. Angrath makes him discard, so I don't know. Could be slow. It's just that if he gets to the point where he starts to combo, the only thing that can stop him is Narset. I would love to have something like an enchantment that has the Narset's passive ability. Opponent, yeah, he probably mulligans aggressively to find his things. That's generally how that deck runs. He goes to 6, so that was okay. We have 2 Thought Erasure that could get him, but he already has one of those. We start getting these, try to find... We get Emery now and Song of Creation later. That's not great. If we catch Bolas on time and he starts plussing, then we may eat the lands that they need or some little creatures. I think I could... I'm gonna do these because we surveil. Leyline of Sanctity, man! I do take these now while I can. I don't know if he's going to... We can Pelaka Predation the Leyline. That gives him hexproof. We wouldn't be able to go for our first hand disruption spells. So I think we take it. If opponent doesn't counter, I don't know what he drew. He has one Thassa's Oracle to scry a little bit. That to draw. Okay, he doesn't have counter spells, so Bolas starts to eat some things, probably Ornithopter, okay. He still had chances, but I'm going to take a little bit of the hand disruption just because of the leyline, and I'm gonna bring back things that don't target maybe. I think I want hand disruption on turn 1, and this is a land. It's hard. I don't want Confounding Conundrum. They don't have something like an Uro, which would be good or okay. I'm thinking that they might have Uro in the sideboard. Is that a thing? I don't think so. I don't know so much of that deck, so now I know about the leyline. Keep this for now. Opponent shocks for a red blue. Okay. Maybe he's just thinking, okay, if he goes for a planeswalker, I can start attacking that planeswalker at least. I'm not going to shock to destroy that 1/1. Because... okay, Emery is a good thing to destroy. He mills a lot of cool stuff. Do we leave counterspell up? Let's see if he has... I think I'll leave Jury Disruption up open. It's not the turn for... okay, he's going to go for that, okay. Do I want to reach my land drop? I think I'm gonna destroy Emery because... oh no, that's 3 converted on cost, so I'm gonna waste not. If you can reach another land, we can start getting to their hand. They just don't seem to have the things that they need, so they're trying to draw. Emery is actually a 3-mana thing, and they went for the artifact creatures to get her cheap on turn 2. I forgot about that. Wise. Okay, we get to Watergrave. Yeah. I think we can start. There's not much that we can do if he has Song of Creation. We're going to draw a card, try to draw a counterspell. Add the white. Do we have Absorb? Maybe against aggro. Or maybe he... we can destroy something with this, but is it worth it? Guess that again. 2 mana, draw a card. Green. Okay. Okay. Black, black. We can't go Nicol Bolas. We could go Scarab God and try to go aggressive. Because if he has Song of Creation, trying to eat a... trying to eat a card from their hand right now is not so great. Because they wouldn't drop that, they would have dropped an Ornithopter, so now we wait. Yeah, probably they go off, they have a lot of cards. If they find Mox Ember, that's mana. I don't know if I would have fun playing a deck like this. Not that I'm saying it is not fun, but like I do have fun with some combo decks. I just don't know if self-mill is my thing. Mox Ember. 2 blue mana. Emery. Emery gets Moxember. Go for... They have 1, 2... Okay, they go for Song of Creation number 2. Try to do that faster. That's a little bit risky, but what he needs to do is to cast Thassa's Oracle when he has 4 cards in his library. And things are pretty counted, like now it's 8. Goes for something. You still have 2 blue mana. Do you have a 0 mana thing? You do have, right? Yeah, you were just trying to find that in your hand. Okay. So we go full control. If they have Thassa's Oracle now, okay, that's it. They didn't screw up. What a nice, interesting game. Yay. We do need something that could break this to the sideboard. Okay, so we are against Reswax. Play first, of course. A lot of big things. I shouldn't keep this hand, but part of me just wants it, right? It's 5. It's like 3 or 5 mana planeswalkers. Probably the worst keep that I've kept. But that's part of the knowledge. Don't. They get Croxa and then we do nothing from turns 2 to 5. We have that now, so play this tapped. They might have more hand disruption. Una's Blackward. Is that like Grixis rogues? Just wreck those rogues? Let's see. So he gets a Bolas from me. He makes us discard. I think that Angrith is good, but Ashiok might be slow. Okay, we do have the board wipe. This way he doesn't get my Bolas in case he has land. 3 cards in hand. We get double red for Croxa. Languish. Just hope for the best now. That's the great thing, that when you go for... really? When you go for this combo, like, Robber of the Rich steals a card from me, and then he attacks me, that has a counter. I have to say goodbye to something, like, and just... And now we can't do any of those. But we could destroy Robber of the Rich before Robber attacks. This way he doesn't have a creature with a counter to make us discard Angrith. Attacks us with a 1/1. Oh, that's a rogue, I forgot about that. Any rogue that attacks triggers the Robber of the Rich trigger. And he's kind of... So this is a point, he could race us. But we could also race him. I mean, he discarded these cards, so he should take this. If that's Grixis rogues, but he didn't find the land and now he finds blue, and then we don't get that. The thing is, what I'm thinking here is Zareth's Son, maybe. What I'm thinking is... Okay. Proxas. That's bad to see. We can't block. They are flying. So we are in a 2-turn clock. Proxam. And we get a hand disruption card, that's great. think I raise him. He has nothing in hand. Ah, okay. The thing is, I'm gonna go for these in case I find Chandra. Although that's not so great. The thing is, he blocked because now he has Unas on the graveyard and he can go for Croak, so that was pretty smart. We're at 1, or do you have something? I mean, he knows we have this card, let's see what he has. More lands. He even did flood a little bit, if you think. Okay, so wreck those rogues. How do we deal with that? Some removal. I'm feeling a little bit that we should have instant removal. Now, do we want hand disruption? We take some Cry of the Carnarium because he does have some cheap creatures, and if there is a point, okay. They take more removal. Okay. If there's a point, I don't want to take 2 life. He's going to have hand disruption on us, but we're better by acting against his creatures, I think. And maybe I cut one of these lands. He does have only 2 mana creatures that I saw. Could have Bone Crusher, I don't know, but probably if he has, he's going to cut them. That's a land, but we cut 1 land, we still have 29. Reswax. I like the idea of his deck, but I don't know what other rogues he could have, or if that's mostly discard Rectos with creatures to discard. That's a doable deck. I start with these because then it enables Dragon's Skull Summit. I go for Thought Erasure if he doesn't Thoughtseize me. And if he's going kind of aggressive. Okay, he doesn't have Thoughtseize. Come on. Academ's Awakening, Rankle, Robber of the Rich. I think I'm gonna get the aggressive thing right now. Although I can kill that at some point. He would have 4 cards in hand, he would take something out of me. I don't want that so much. Tiny Bones is something that we might have to kill, because he's going to generate value at the end of his turn. Rankle is a little bit far because opponent might have to play that land tapped, or just pay 3 life right now. Yeah, he plays tap, goes for Croxa. Croxa goes to the graveyard. What do we discard first though? I know I want to kill this, so now we can decide. Languish can get Rankle, but maybe we have Nicol Bolas to block that, right? So for falls, that's great, we don't take damage. At least right now. Ingress is great, because if he gets Croxa, we might get Croaks out of him and... Okay, so... You could go Scarab God to try and eat Croxa. And if he goes Rankle with trade, I don't know if this was the right play though. Getting like Nicol Bolas. Oh, he didn't think I was going to block. Okay. Maybe he just thought that it was a slow thing, and he still couldn't go for Crocs. This. If the swarm doesn't hit something. Narset, no, right? Ashok or Liliana, I think I could cut, because now we're on the draw. To be harder to catch those. This could be board wipe, could be exile Croaks. Get some hand disruption. I think that's the best game plan that I have right now. Okay, let's go. Last one. Part of me actually thought later on last game that I could have used Angrith. I'm gonna get another land with more, another hand with more lands. And this has a lot of lands, so I say goodbye to Swamp, I think. The last turn, okay, we can do this. We could have go Angrith plus, he has to discard Rankle. That might have been better at that point. But I hadn't thought about that. Relic Robber. Relic Robber is a problem next turn if he finds the land. Oh, he can play that, but that's not red. So he doesn't have red, that's great to see. Great thing that Search for Azcanta is not in here. That's probably better. Because now we select our card drop better. And we're reaching the point where we get Bolas the Rapture, then Bolas Dragon God. I think I can say goodbye to a land, just 3 damage. The things in his hand are not great. I'm gonna keep this for now. I know that right now I don't have the land, but if I get this next turn, I start plussing. Not so great. Okay, he thought me. Gonna keep this. Don't know if that's so great. Gonna play this. He has only 4 cards in the graveyard and only one. Oh my god. Only 1 red. Graveyard. We can go Drowned Catacombs in here. Okay, he doesn't have double red, he doesn't have the cards. And the cards in his hand are not great. I think we're in a better spot because of Search. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I keep this, but I just don't want to fill his graveyard. And I don't want him to just destroy Bolas. I keep this for later. Because we're not in a rush. They are the ones with only 1 red and only 5 cards in the graveyard. Find double red. Oh, this is in the point of transform? If I knew that, maybe I would have kept Search for Azcanta. But we can still use our one. Oh, and they're crying. Okay, let's draw a card in here, take something. And they concede. So not going for Bolas probably was what kept us alive. Like, okay, I'm not going to make a discard upon him. Okay, that's it. I... Okay, so we're back in here for the conclusion, and I'm sorry that I realized later that the quality of the image of some games were not the best because I'm trying things with the configurations of my software, but some of these games I just couldn't not show them. Okay, so I've bring in here things that I want to cut of the deck and things that I might want to add. Let me do it like this. Okay, so Confounding Conundrum is something I want to remove uh, of the sideboard as a one-off. You know, just leave 2 in here. It's great to have this against the ramp decks, especially early in the game, but going for all of the 3 I think is not the best thing that we can do. Waste Not was good against some control decks, but generally it needs a setup and it's not. I don't think that this is the deck for this card, so I'm going to cut this as well. Also, some things that I didn't find that were very interesting in these games were Ugin, the Spirit Dragon. We're not ramping, and I think that Ugin is too expensive and slow a lot of times, so I'm probably cutting this. And Black Plume Rogue was supposed to be, as a creature, something to hit planeswalkers from our opponents because of his menace ability. And I just don't think that this is the kind of land / creature that we want, so I'm probably going to trade this for another land from Zendikar Rising that is double-faced, and I have made this other list with things that I'm thinking about adding. You can see that this list is so much. There are so many cards that are in this wish list, but I'm thinking that instead of the rogue, I want Shadow Skull Smashing. I'm thinking that this can be a good removal spell, like we can even remove 2 creatures. But it's also because I have been having a little bit of troubles to get red mana. I think I need to review even my lands in the deck. But I have a lot of double face that are black, so adding these might be a little bit of the way we want to go. Talking about lands, right? I'm thinking about maybe adding pathways or these cycling lands. Pathways, the bad thing about them is that after you choose the side that you want, you're not going to be able to do the other mana. So if probably we need blue, for example, then we won't have red for Croxa, and sometimes that can be good. That can be clunky. So I'm thinking that these cycling lands, they are probably gonna be better. They also enable the check lands, so that's great. And we have had a lot of trouble with opponents that use the graveyard. So Ashok Dreamrender and Leyline of the Void can be cards that really shut down those things. So I'm thinking about adding one or both of these to my sideboard. We can also mill ourselves, which is great for Croxa. And then let's talk about Bone Crusher Giant. So Bone Crusher Giant can be a removal with Stomp, and then even another removal by trading the creature with something from opponent. And also it can be really good against control, like hey, 3 mana for 3 creature in here that you gotta deal with. Because there are some times that we have some creatures on the battlefield, and there are some moments that I think, maybe I could be a little bit more aggressive in here, you know? Maybe Bone Crusher can add that touch in here. I thought about Muyanlin, but I don't know if I'm too convinced about that. I want, to have a little bit of permanence of board presence on early stages of the game, and Muyanlin and Bone Crusher Giant could be it. But I'm still thinking about them. I think that Bone Crusher is an interesting one. Muyanlin, not so much. Okay, for the end game, we're removing Ugin, and I have added him because I was feeling that against control I didn't have busted things to end the game. But maybe we try to add another Planeswalker, and I have thought about these. Well, Nicol Bolas, of course, because it's versatile. It has 3 abilities that you're going to be able to use. So it's not like it's going to be so bad, you know. You can like end their hand, you can +2 to get something from them if their things are busted, for example. Probably against aggro you don't do that much. And then we have also Ugin, the other Ugin, the 6 mana one. This can destroy a permanent, so it can destroy enchantments. But this one, I'm not so sold on this. I do think that this Bolas is also expensive, but I'm still thinking I want to run him. And Sarkhan is a Planeswalker that I thought that could be a really, really great Planeswalker because we're using 1 dragon. We're using Bolas. So if we have 2 dragons on the battlefield, whenever a creature attacks us or Planeswalkers we control, then if we have 2 dragons, they are going to deal 2 damage to those creatures. So if the creatures are big, like Urokroxa or Elder Gargroth, then they're going to deal 2 damage, and then we might just want to trade, our dragon token with them. Or we can just try to go for that aggro presence and end our opponents with Planeswalkers that are dragons. So that's really, really interesting. And the other things that I'm bringing in here are maybe Maze Mind Tome or Treasure Map. I'm thinking that Maze Mind Tome is better. The ability to tap this to scry without having to pay mana is the best thing against aggro, because the mana that you pay, you cannot pay for the spells that you find, so it's already a little bit restricting you. And Maze Mind Tome also gains life, so against aggro, Maze Mind Tome is better. Against control, Treasure Map could be good because of the treasure tokens. But I think that the card draw, the card advantage that the Maze Mind Tome can produce can really be what you want against control. So I've been thinking about Maze Mind Tome. So probably I'm gonna trade, say goodbye to Waste Not, and say hello to Maze Mind Tome. I don't know if Maze Mind Tome and Search for Scantar are going to work really well, but we're going to see that. This is going to go out from the sideboard, and then maybe some Graveyard Hate is going to come. And this is one enchantment that I have been thinking about because I've played against a combo deck that used the Song of Creation, that enchantment that whenever you cast something, you draw a card or 2 cards. and then you discard your hand on the end of your end step. And it was a combo deck. The thing is, this says that if a player doesn't pay mana to cast a spell, then this deals 5 damage to that player, so that would wreck that kind of deck. And if you're facing that, then we probably just should try to mulligan aggressively to try to find this. And those were the things I've thought. Maybe even try other kind of board wipes is something that I've been thinking. But I don't like the... what's the name of that? There is a 5 mana board wipe that doesn't hurt Bolas Planeswalkers, but it would kill these Bolas and other creatures. It wouldn't kill Croxa, because Croxa is a 6/6 and that thing deals 5 damage. But it would kill other Planeswalkers that we have, so that's not great. Okay, why did I do this? So yeah, that's it. This is generally my thing. I am going to leave another link in the description for a sheets that I've done with the matches that we had. So if you want to see the win rate, the matches, what we faced, and how the deck went against those, then go for the link, and I think you'll find it interesting. And if you have any suggestion for what we should remove also from the deck, or this is also something that I want to remove. I just didn't put it in here because you can't detach 3 bolas and 1 bolas. But that's it. I think that I have a lot of aggro hate in my sideboard. I think that aggro plays a little bit more on best of 1, so maybe I shouldn't have all of these. But they were nice. Like sometimes we would play 3 Cry of the Carnarium and sometimes 4, so I don't know what I want. But one thing that I should change is that, okay, not in here. There is also another card that I remembered, and I'm gonna find this. It's okay, that I don't have. And this board wipe like deals, I think, 2 damage, just like it's on red. So I'm gonna say goodbye to these. And where are you? Where are you? Okay, this one. Sweltering Suns. Oh, deals 3 damage, so it's even greater, even better than Cry of the Carnarium. It doesn't exile, but the thing is, I probably want to play these in our main deck, because if you're playing against control, Cry of the Carnarium is not going to do a lot, and Sweltering Suns can be cycled, so maybe I should have one of these on the main deck, and then 3 Cry of the Carnarium in the sideboard because of the exile effect, which I think is great. But that's something that I'm going to debate in my head. Let me put this in here. And then that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry for the long video, for the end of this series. And I'm going to try and do these changes to the deck, try to make an even better deck. And I come back to you for another series when it's time. So please leave a comment if you enjoyed it, leave a like or subscribe. Thank you guys. See you next time.